Sometimes training goes
Yes.
smoothly, and sometimes it does not. I've had a lot of questions about what training sessions look like and how I structure them. While every session can be different, I've decided to show you my 4th training walk with Louie. I'm going to show you what goes well and what doesn't. I'll show you the entire walk in its real, unedited form. Louie had no leash skills when we met. He was reactive to dogs from blocks away, and he was also reactive to most men and to small animals, including birds. In this mini-series, I'm going to show you our sessions where we work on all of that with force-free methods. Last week, I uploaded a video that covers 10 tips to immediately improve walks with your dog if they pull on leash. I've linked it in the caption, and I strongly encourage you to go watch it. It further explains some of the methods that you'll see me implement on this walk today. Despite my ultimate goal being working on reactivity, on our first 3 walks, I focus mainly on leash skills. Any leash tension will dramatically worsen reactivity, so if you have a reactive dog that also pulls on leash, I strongly encourage you to work on leash training first. First, I want to show you an unedited clip of the very first time that I went outside with Louie. My plan was just to walk him to my vehicle to get a longer leash, but as you can see, it was a bit of a disaster.
Yes. Louie. Louie. Yes. Come here. Well, Louie. Good boy. Yes. Louie. Come here. Good. Louie.
I'm going to post a video soon explaining dogs' thresholds and why Louie isn't capable of any positive learning when he's in this state. Understanding dogs' threshold is one of the most important aspects of dog training. I also want to point out that between the clip you just saw and the walk that I'm about to show, Louie had 3 20-ish minute training sessions with me, or about 1 hour of total training. A lot of people will say that force-free training takes forever, but I think you're going to notice a massive difference with 1 hour of training.
We are filming.
Good job. Here I'm rewarding Louie for sitting patiently while I get set up to leave the house. He was a massive jumper when we met, so I'm encouraging any behavior where he keeps his paws on the ground.
Yes. Good boy.
We've been working on engagement as soon as we leave the house, so I was really happy to see Louie do a voluntary check-in here. There's a huge improvement in body language since our first walk, but you can still see that Louie's ears are a bit pinched. I like doing a lot of name recognition and rewarding at the beginning of walks to build focus and positive associations. I want Louie to enjoy being outside. There's been a bunny hiding in the mulch a few times, and Louie's remembered it, so I use the up and down game to get his attention back and to help him relax before we fully leave the property.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
I was hoping for a voluntary check-in here, but he didn't, and he clearly caught a smell. I used his name to get him back to me before he pulled. For the first few weeks, I like rewarding any voluntary glances, so even though he did this one while peeing, I still rewarded it.
Yes. Good boy.
Louie is hilariously bad at having treats just fall out of his mouth. He gets so excited to get them, and then they just fall out. I gave him a second one here since he lost the first.
Yes.
He checked in, so I rewarded him. As long as there's not any tension on the leash, I let Louie sniff and set the pace. I want him to enjoy walks, especially with how anxious he was just a few days ago.
Yes.
Again, he did a voluntary check-in. Here I'll call him back from the intense sniff before he pulls.
Louie.
I reward him for listening, and then I say okay to go back to that smell.
Okay.
I want to mention that when a dog is just learning leash skills, especially if I'm not teaching the cued versions, I keep my criteria low. I don't care about the pace that we walk, what side he's walking on, or even about rewarding in proper position. Not yet, anyway. All I'm encouraging is moving in my direction without any leash tension. Once that's easy, I increase the criteria and work on more finesse. Another thing that you'll soon see a lot on this walk is me asking Louie to fix his leash.
Yes.
If I'm
good.
working with a reactive dog, I'm a stickler for making sure that the leash isn't under their legs as a potential tripping or injury hazard. Louie's collar is quite loose and it moves around a lot, and he still wasn't used to the extra leash length, so you'll see that it gets tangled often.
We're going to the left today. This way. Good boy.
It might just be one of my weird quirks, but it's a pet peeve of mine to have to constantly crouch down and adjust a leash, so I prefer teaching dogs to fix their own. This was Louie's second day of practicing this skill.
Can we fix your leash? Good. Okay, let's go. Yes.
I do reward check-ins, but not the demanding of treats.
I know. We have the good stuff. Get going. That's lovely. Louie.
There I called him right when he hit the end of the leash to train him to release leash tension on his own. Then I reward him for coming back to me and I walk over to the smell with him. I want Louie to learn that he can sniff without any pulling. I could tell here that the loud construction noises were starting to stress Louie out, so I called him back at the slightest bit of tension. Here I'm saying yes and rewarding him for looking at the men but not reacting.
Good boy. Okay.
Louie isn't over threshold here, but I do want to point out how much his body language and his demeanor have changed. His ears are more pinched and he starts walking rapidly. I reward him for following me, and I get his attention back on me before reapproaching the men and the noise.
Okay, this way. Lulu. Yes.
There I said yes before he added leash tension, but you can see that it tangled his leash yet again.
Louie, wait. Okay, there we go. Good boy.
Here I was pretty sure that he would pull, but I waited to see if he would release the tension himself.
Yes.
I rewarded him as soon as he did.
Louie, you gotta fix your leash again.
I pulled lightly here to help fix his leash.
There. Yes. Okay.
Next, Louie pulls to a smell, so I stand still to prevent that from working, and then I reward him and encourage him back over to it.
Let's go sniff. Okay. Louie, come here. Yes.
All I'm rewarding here is that he's coping around loud noises, and then again for remaining focused on me with scary stuff around. I was really proud here that Louie was approaching the scary sound without leash tension.
Yes. Good. Yes. Yes.
He seemed okay still, so we got closer.
Louie, wait.
Here I'm calling him back from tension and rewarding him. Louie can be reactive to men, so I wanted to spend a tiny bit of time here, either rewarding him for continuing to focus on me, or for looking at his trigger without reacting.
Okay, let's get closer. Yes. Yes. Good. Yes. Okay, you get closer?
I wait to make sure he's doing okay, and then get a little bit closer again.
Yes.
quick treat scatter before walking away because Louie did great.
Yes. Okay, let's go. Big leash. Okay, let's go this way. Yes. Good.
I want to point out that after a stressful event, you'll often see dogs pull on leash. It's something to be ready for and aware of.
Okay. Louie, wait. Yes. Good. Let's continue on. Oh, can you fix your leash? Yes. This way. Yeah.
I laugh here because the first time that I increased leash length, Louie tangled himself on every tree and every pole. He's slowly figuring out how not to get tangled up on walks. Louie pulled pretty hard here, so I stood firm and called him back to me, and then rewarded him with both a treat and a return to the smell. It's important to let all dogs sniff on walks, but especially if you have an anxious or reactive dog, because it helps them relax.
Let's go sniff.
However, I don't want them to self-reward for pulling with an awesome scent.
Let's go this way. Lulu. Okay.
I wanted Louie to decompress a little bit from our work with the construction men, so we did a brief version of the up and down game to help him relax.
Okay, what's this? Blue? Yes. Yes.
I should also mention that yes is the marker word that I use for desirable behavior.
Yes.
I'll link a video in the caption about why I strongly encourage using a marker word for dog training.
Yes, good look. I have never met a dog, Louie, that is so bad at taking treats. Hey, you dropped them all. Yes. Okay. Louie. Yes. Okay, let's go check it out. Okay, this side. Good. Thank you. Let's go left today. Louie, this side. Good boy. Yes. Louie. Good boy. Can you sit? Okay. Good.
Here I switched to regular treats.
Good fix.
Here I rewarded for not snagging on the tree.
Are you gonna fix it this time? No, you are not. Okay, let's go this way. This side, Lou. Good boy. This side. Yes, good job. Finally. Louie. Yes.
There was a guy hanging out in those woods yesterday, so normally I walk the dog back over to the smell that they were interested in, but here I'm avoiding those treats.
Lou. Yes. Okay, we're not actually gonna go sniff that one, sorry. Okay. Lulu, this way. Good boy. Louie. Can you fix your leash? Lou, fix your leash. Fix. Fix it? Yes, good. Good boy. Okay, come on. Which way do you want to go? This way? Okay. Louie. Buddy.
Louie still appears under threshold here, but he stops responding to his name, so I knew that his stimulation was ramping up, and I decided to do the up and down game to get his focus back.
Yes. Yes. Good.
I want to pause it here to say that I was looking in the same direction as him, but there was no one on the path. As you can tell from the earlier parts of the walk, it's highly unlike him to ignore food though, so I knew something was up.
Yes. Good. Here.
All of a sudden, a man and his dog popped out from behind a tree just a few feet from us.
Good boy.
I'll elaborate more on this in an upcoming video on threshold, but I knew that Louie would not be capable of positive learning that close to 2 triggers, so the only option was to increase distance. Again, under that level of stress is when you'll often see the worst pulling. I'm trying to hold the leash firm and reward him for releasing tension, while also keeping an eye to see if that man and his dog are coming in our direction.
Yes.
I kept Louie to the far side, and I was not expecting the man to stop and talk to us, which was
He's
not
really
a big
reactive,
deal.
so I'm training him to not go after other dogs. Louie. He's a mixed breed.
Here I'm just feeding Louie treats to keep him calm.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
I was actually shocked how well he handled it, considering that he was reactive to dogs from blocks away just days prior. Removing leash tension on walks and building up engagement and positive associations can cause massive improvements in reactivity even before you do any actual reactivity training.
Yes. You're not even looking. Yes. And good. Watch them walk away. Come on, Lou. Louie. Yes. Okay.
When dogs are close to threshold, you'll often find that they also take treats more roughly.
Yes.
This was our first time working on dog reactivity together, so here I'm just positioning us to be able to watch them as they walk away, and I'm rewarding Louie for looking but not reacting. Louie recovered quickly, and we hadn't had any opportunities for training with other dogs thus far, so I decided to follow them at a distance while working on his reactivity.
Come on, this way. Lou.
We had just come that way, so I knew that the trail went in 2 directions. I planned on following the man and his dog for the straight section, and then turning the opposite direction of them at the end of the path. I figured it might be about 1 minute of exposure.
Yes.
Here, Louie is being rewarded for both walking without tension and for looking at his trigger without reacting.
Okay. Yes. Good. Louie. Yes. Good boy. Okay. Yes.
I want you to notice here
Yes.
how hard it was for Louie to look away from his trigger after I said his name. Even though he wasn't barking or lunging, I knew that he was towing the threshold line, so I gave him a big payout, I switched to the higher value reward, and I moved off the path so that he'd have more distance from the trigger.
Okay, let's go. Yes.
He got rapid fire rewards for looking without reacting, and then I called him back to me once there was leash tension.
Yes. Good boy. Okay. Can you fix your leash? Awesome. Good. Let's go.
I also slowed down to wait until the man and his dog moved farther away.
Turn. Good boy. You sit. Good. Okay. Woo. Yes. You did so good, sir. You did so good. Okay.
I'm letting him watch, and then I'm marking and rewarding him for not reacting.
Good. Good.
I was not expecting what happened here off camera. You can't see it, but the man started waving his arms and talking about mosquitoes, and then turned around and started walking right back towards us. I knew Louie was going to react by his tense posture and his forward lean. I'm not pulling back on the leash at all here, but it does stay tense because I'm not giving him any slack to get closer. Again, the only option here is to increase distance. If a dog is reacting, I try to walk my hands up the leash to get closer to them rather than pulling, and I still use their name to try to get them to voluntarily come farther away with me.
Louie, good boy. Let's go. This way.
Louie and I have practiced name recognition so much that he did brilliantly here, even over threshold. Here I did a full treat scatter to encourage him to sniff and relax as we let the man and the dog go past.
Okay, come here. Louie, can you fix your leash? Yes. Yes. Good. Let's watch them walk away. Come on. Okay. You want to hang out? Yes.
Then I rewarded him for every glance without reacting.
Yes. 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 No cares given? Good job. Okay, have all those.
I purposely chose this day's walk to show you because of those 2 moments over threshold.
Wanna go home? Fix your leash. Fix your leash. Yeah, good boy.
The first time was a surprise, but I do take responsibility for the second time. I got excited about finally having a dog to train his reactivity with, and I got too close, assuming that they'd keep moving farther away from us. Clearly, that did not work out. I think it's a disservice to pretend that training sessions always go perfectly, even for dog trainers. Instead, I wanted to show my mistake and how I diffused Louie afterwards. My goal with reactivity training is to keep the dog under threshold, but as you can see, there are times that might fail. I've had clients express a lot of shame or guilt if their dog gets triggered in public. I'm hoping by showing you today's walk that it helps you to not beat yourself up when things don't go according to plan, because it happens to trainers too. If you have a reactive dog and you've struggled with embarrassment, shame, or guilt in the past when they've had a big reaction, I would really appreciate if you'd write that in the comments of this video. I think it will be helpful for others to see that we all struggle sometimes, even when we're trying our best. Reactivity is hard for both the dog and the guardian. It's important to give both parties grace when things happen.
The mosquitoes are terrible and you are dragging them all up, hey?
There's a quote that I like by John Steinbeck. And now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good. It's important that we don't hold our dog or ourselves to unattainable levels of perfection.
Yes. Go home. Good job. Yes. Louie. Yes. Yes. Good boy. I didn't even have to say your name. This way, sir. This way. Woo. Yeah. I know, I gotta give more. Can you sit? Okay, good job. Good job. Okay, great. Okay, let's go home. Okay, no thanks.
Louie's jumping had dramatically improved by our 4th day, but the behavior wasn't gone. I'm going to post a tutorial about how I address jumping soon. Next week, I'll be uploading another unedited walk with Louie, where he finds a dead bird and I remember that he doesn't know the leave it cue. We also work on his prey drive with the live animals and do a reactivity training exercise with a man.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna get these. Ready? Louie, sit. Great.
Thank you so much for coming on this walk with us. I would love to hear in the comments if you enjoyed this unedited point of view style video.
Yes. Okay, wait, Louie. Okay, to keep the identity of the client's location a little bit more private, I'm going to turn off the camera now.
The next video will give you a better look at how I want reactivity sessions to go. Happy training. I'll see you next week.